When I tell people I am a mystic, they usually ask me what I mean, and I say that my answer can be as multifaceted as a large diamond, and as broad and as sweeping as the universe. But at its most basic level, and I want to make it clear that this is my definition, a mystic is someone who is trying to awaken in the metaphysical sense, and not to a thought or an idea, but to awaken to this moment here and now as fully as we can. Now, the first step up we can take towards this spiritual awakening, and this is actually just one small part, involves first stepping up into the mindful state. And the more fully and completely we do this, the more awake we become. And even though there is important work we must do before we can easily enter this state, we can experience it right now. This is because mindfulness can be defined as any present-centered focus of our attention. So to be mindful is to be consciously aware of something happening here and now in this moment. Now we have a head brain, a body brain, and a feeling brain, and each one of these brains is capable of being mindful. That is, being aware of something happening here and now in this moment. So in my head brain, I can bring my attention to the thoughts and images that are occurring in them. For example, I can become aware of seeing the word cat in my mind here in this moment. Unfortunately, this is actually a very advanced mindfulness technique because it is so easy to get lost in the words and pictures that take form and shape in our heads. And this is actually one of the biggest obstacles to awakening because our thoughts and images have an almost hypnotic, sleep-inducing quality to them. And by sleep-inducing, I do not mean literally falling asleep, but rather falling down into the state where I am no longer present in this moment, here and now. However, my eyes, ears, nose, and mouth are located in my head, and my head brain can become mindful of what I can see, hear, smell, and taste in this moment. And if you practice consciously looking, listening, smelling, and or tasting, you will notice something interesting. Because doing this turns off the words and picture maker in your head brain, so it no longer pulls you down into the state of waking sleep. And so if you find yourself caught up in your thoughts and you want to come back to this moment, simply consciously look, listen, and smell. Now we also have a body brain, and it is also capable of being mindful. And so I can mindfully become aware of all sorts of sensations that I can sense here and now in this moment. I can sense the touch of clothing on my body, the movement of my abdominal muscles as I breathe. I can even sense my body as one organic whole from the bottom of my feet to the top of my head. And I can sense my whole body breathing. And finally, there is our feeling brain. And we are really feeling something in every moment. It is just that we are not aware of what this feeling or emotion is. And quite often this feeling that we feel is almost like an atrophied feeling, such as a constant, unnoticed sense of anxiety or foreboding in the stomach, because those who were supposed to teach us how to be humans were themselves slumbering in a mechanical state and did not teach us the importance of feeling feelings when it comes to knowing who and what we are. However, with a little training, we can be shown how to become mindful and aware of what we are feeling right now. And if we do a lot more training, we can even begin to consciously control what we feel and mindfully breathe in a feeling of joy or delight. And although we can feel feelings throughout our body, we do have a primary feeling circuit that runs up from our abdomen, solar plexus, and stomach, up through our lungs, heart, throat, jaw, mouth, face, eyes, and tear ducts, and maybe even right in to the pineal gland, deep in the center of our head. Now, there is a lot more that I can and will say about what it means to awaken in the metaphysical sense, and I will be doing so in many other videos. But right now, and keep in mind that this is a very advanced exercise, well beyond most people's abilities, and the reason I am introducing it is to show you what you should be working towards. I even have a series of 7 10-minute inner exercises on YouTube that will only take you from the head to the body and not the feelings, and I will post the links below this video on YouTube so you can practice. Now try your best to follow along and become mindful of what you can see, perhaps light and dark, color and hue, form and shape. Then become mindful of what you can hear, perhaps my voice or other sounds around you. Then become mindful of what you can smell, any odors nearby or far away, and finishing in your head brain by becoming mindful of the taste in your mouth. Then move down to your body brain and become mindful of your feet. Then mindful of your lower legs, upper legs, hips, and buttocks. Mindful of your lower torso, your mid-torso, your chest, and upper back. Then become mindful of your hands, lower arms, upper arms, and shoulders. And finish this body-brain exercise by becoming mindful of your neck and head. And finally, try to become mindful of what you are feeling right now. Perhaps you can notice it in your stomach, your heart, your face, and perhaps you can even try to smile with mindful awareness. Smile and try to mindfully summon up a tiny feeling of delight. Healing mind, body, and feelings. The Toronto hypnotherapist.